Hi guys, and many thanks for joining. My name is Kat and I like to talk about crime investigations and missing people. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe below, hit that notification bell so you are the first one to know about any new videos I upload. Like and share the video. Thank you. Hi guys, and many thanks for joining me. Alright guys, here we are with another video about evidence in Madeleine Mccann's case. Honestly, I can't get enough of trying to point out all the evidence found. However, at the expense of sounding boring and repetitive, I want to go through the evidence in more detail. Apart from most, there's one particular thing that everyone is going crazy about, and that is Gerry's tennis bag. This tennis bag seems to be like a ghost. Now you see it, now you don't. It's pretty much becoming invisible, people. But because you guys love me for my videos and I want to thank you so much for it, the mysterious tennis bag will have a whole video dedicated just for it. Now, you tell me, how awesome is that? But ladies and gents, this ghost won't be on its own. No can do. David Payne will accompany the tales of this ghostly bag. So, make sure you tune in to my next video to hear all about that frustratingly hard to find tennis bag. And now, back to the point. Just quickly an intro, yeah? Who were the Tapas 7? I am mentioning this now because it is of extreme importance to realize the minds involved in the cover-up. Attending the holiday along with the Mccan family would be David Payne and Fiona Payne, who were both physicians, along with their 2 children and Fiona's mother, Diane Webster. Also attending were Jane Tanner, who worked as a marketing manager, go figure, Jane's partner, Russell O'Brien, who was a physician, and their 2 children. Oh, what a treat, right? Oh, there's plenty of physicians here, don't you think? Oh, this is just brilliant, right? Just the perfect circumstances. And was marketing manager Jane Tanner in charge of the Herculean task of media coverage? I mean, oh my god. Seriously, I've just realized that. So hear me out on this. Jane Tanner, the marketing manager, is the person responsible for Kate and Gerry's media attention, Kate's Oprah appearance, Kate's book sales, Kate's everything which enabled her and Gerry to be millionaires. Now, just to clarify, I haven't read this anywhere. This is strictly my opinion, because what a perfect opportunity to have a marketing manager as your friend. Oh my god, this is brilliant. It's not brilliant, but it's brilliant how their mind works. Seriously guys, they treated Madeleine's disappearance like a brand. Now this is just vile. A brand which they started perfecting and growing from the following day of Maddie's disappearance. Oh my god, I'm really gutted I didn't figure this out earlier. Rounding out the group were physician Matthew Oldfield. Thank God we have another physician here, right? Another physician. Oh, the more the merrier to help with the cover-up, right? Yeah, that's it. Only people who are perfect for these kind of things. It's like they picked each other on purpose when they became friends. And then, check this one out. Matthew's wife, lawyer Rachel Oldfield, and their daughter. Did you listen to me? A lawyer. Huh. Just at hand when you need them. Now this is what I'm talking about. Right here. The flipping perfect group of people to cover up a death, murder, or accident. You know, I'm just lost for words on this. But whilst I'm trying to calm down from what I just realized, let's just say that the group arrived in Praia da Luz in Portugal on the 28th of April 2007, 2 weeks short of Madeleine's 4th birthday. Sean and Emily were 2 years and 3 months at the time of the holiday. Now, I'm gonna show you a photo on the screen with the whole group. Now, if you just look at their faces, you can definitely tell that these are the kind of people who could definitely cover up a murder. Let's see. Jane Tanner on the left, Fiona Payne, top row on the left, Matthew Oldfield, top row in the middle, Rachel Oldfield, top row right, Russell O'Brien, bottom row left, Diane Webster, bottom row middle, and David Payne, bottom row right. Okay. That's enough. Now, evidence, yeah? Okay. We know the Tapas group compiled one timeline as an agreement between all of them. It should be noted that none of them is not funny. No, I'm really sorry, it's not funny, but I can't help it. I can't help myself from laughing because, just hear this out. When they were dining at the Tapas restaurant every day, they were not wearing any watches, and according to them, they left their mobile phones in their apartments, right? Logically, as they say. So, let's get this straight. No phones, no watches, so how could they tell the time? Now this is one to think about. Yet they claim they check the kids every half an hour in turns. So how did they know when to go? This sounds so childish, but seriously, unless they were some time masters and we don't know anything about that, but seriously, this sounds to me like a 10-year-old saying this kind of lies just to get themselves out of trouble. It's plainly as that. How can you know that you are going every half an hour when you don't have a watch, you don't have a phone, when you can't check the time? Now, we know the sniffer dogs brought in, yeah? I am choosing to talk about it so I can give an understanding to people who say that those dogs are not reliable. And this includes Kate and Gerry Mccann. They are consistently and persistently saying that these dogs are not reliable. Dog handler Grime wrote in his report, and I quote, "In 6 years of operational deployment in over 200 criminal case searches, the dog Eddie has never alerted to meat-based and specifically pork foodstuffs designed for human consumption. Similarly, the dog has never alerted to roadkill." The FBI have rated the combination of Grime the dog handler and Eddie the cadaver dog as, and I quote, "two of the best in the law enforcement specialty of canine forensics, able to find evidence everyone else missed." And now here is a sweet photo of Eddie the sniffer dog. Oh, he's so cute. But he can be your worst enemy if you are on the wrong side of the law. The second dog brought to Praia da Luz was Keela. Keela is a crime scene investigation dog. CSI dog? You know the movies CSI? He's a CSI dog. Yes, in real life. She has the ability to smell human blood, and if she senses human blood, she will place her nose close to the blood spot, then freeze in that position like a statue. Keela will only alert to human blood, not human saliva, semen, sweat, or other bodily fluid. In training, Keela had precisely identified small amounts of blood on items 36 years old. The FBI invited Martin Grime and Keela to the USA and placed a tiny spot of blood in the center of a single piece of cloth. This was then washed 3 times and placed in a line amongst 11 other identical pieces of cloth. Keela accurately identified not only the correct piece of cloth, but also the precise location on the cloth that the blood spot had been placed. And this is Keela, guys. Now let's go to the cadaver dog in apartment 5A. Again, we are with the apartment 5A, but like I said, I'm gonna repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat until people get bored of me. Martin Grime and Eddie, the cadaver dog, entered the Mccan's apartment on the 31st of July 2007, almost 3 months after Maddie's disappearance. Mccan stopped living there already since Maddie's disappearance. Grime mentions Eddie's first reaction. As soon as they both went in, Eddie got really excited, and Grime, as his handler, knows the dog's body language. Of course, is the dog's handler. He is supposed to know the body language. He believes as soon as Eddie entered, being so excited, he picked up a scent that he recognizes. Eddie was interested in the area behind the sofa in the living room, and this happened without him even having access to the behind of the sofa. You remember that the sofa was pushed back against the wall when the police went there after Maddie's disappearance, as if someone actually, of course, moved furniture around. We can also see in photos from PJ Files that actually the curtain was tucked in somehow. Like, it wouldn't normally be like that, would it? I mean, it would be nicely laid like a normal curtain on a window. Now, when Eddie gained access behind the sofa in the living room, he barks, indicated cadaver or human blood odor. Grime describes the specific area as, and I quote, approximately in the center of the wall where the window is, just along the tile area between the tiles and the wall. And here are some photos as evidence of the sniffing and the location of it. Now, Eddie also gave a soft alert to the garden belonging to 5A. This garden is located outside the window of Kate and Gerry's room, although downwards about 2 meters. So the garden which is located outside the window of Kate and Gerry's room, so that would be the bedroom. So hold on a minute, what did they do? So yeah, it makes sense. I think that what they did, they hid Maddie's body in their wardrobe, because remember from our previous video with the evidence, the dog could smell cadaver in the cupboard, and so they removed her body from the cupboard, and possibly, quite possibly, they took her out the window, their bedroom window, which goes in the garden, where Eddie picked up the scent. Yeah, I mean, it does sort of make sense. Now let's go to the blood dog in apartment 5A. Eddie alerted 2-3 locations in apartment 5A: the Mccan parents' cupboard, behind the sofa, and the garden. At this point, Keela, the blood-scenting dog, was brought in to determine if Eddie alerted to these locations due to human cadaver odor or human blood odor. Keela is the CSI dog with the ability to identify solely human blood. Keela identified, and I quote according to the report, an area of tiles in the living room next to the window and behind the sofa. Again, behind the sofa. This was in the same area as Eddie. Keela also identified, and I quote, the lower part of the left white-colored curtain of the window behind the sofa. In Grime's report, he stipulates, she, Keela, will find blood that's historically very old, and she will find anybody's blood, any human blood, which is important to make sure that everybody knows, so she will find human blood. Now you can see a photo of Keela, how she freezes in the position behind the Mccan's living room couch. So this freezing process indicates an alert to the scent of blood where Keela's nose touches the tiles. You remember that Kate mentioned Madeleine was suffering nosebleeds and also hit her knee? Now, however, blood, my opinion, is easily removable from shiny, slippery tiles without the use of bleach, right? It is. If it's fresh, it's wipeable. When it's on the tiles which are slippery, obviously if there are different kind of tiles, it can impregnate and then it can dry and it's much more difficult to clean. But on this type of tiles, it's not so difficult to clean. You just wipe it off with soap or whatever you have at hand and you clean it. Even if it's dry, you do the same. If it's dry, it's dry. It's even easier to clean than when it's fresh. So my question is, when Kate said that Madeleine was having frequent nosebleeds and she also hit her knee, was she in fact trying to justify why blood was found and why she bleached the tiles? She was in fact spotted buying cleaning products, and that includes bleach. Now, I ask you this, if you've been on holiday, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people go on holidays really and usually. So I'm asking you, would you go and buy cleaning products when you're on holiday? And you have cleaners there. Why do it yourself, like Kate did, and refuse the cleaners in? It doesn't make sense. I mean, in this case, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I just don't get it. Why would I want to go to buy cleaning products when I know that cleaner is there for a reason, to clean my room? Not to mention that she called Amanda her cleaner and nanny, whose husband was a pathologist. Why would she call if she didn't need advice or help to cover up traces that would incriminate her? I mean, it's quite obvious really if you think about it. And let's not forget that a pathologist's job is around bodily fluids, tissue samples, blood and analysis of bodies. Besides, Paul Whitaker is known to have worked in chemical pathology at one point in his life, and if I'm not mistaken, around the year 2000. Okay, to the next one. The sniffer dogs and the Mccan's items. Now we know, after Maddie's disappearance, the Mccans, they moved apartment. They moved from 5A into the Payne's apartment for a short period of time, and after this stay, they moved into another apartment in the Ocean Club Resort Complex in 4G. On July the 2nd, they moved to a villa in a separate part of Praia da Luz at 27 Rua das Flores. The PJ obtained warrants for that villa. The villa was searched on the 2nd of August, and Eddie the cadaver dog alerted to Madeleine's stuffed toy, Cuddle Cat. Eddie then alerted to a cupboard in the villa's living room, where officials relocated Cuddle Cat, and when the cupboard was opened, he alerted to the toy. Madeleine had slept with the Cuddle Cat up to the time she disappeared, and then Kate would carry Cuddle Cat around with her as a reminder of Madeleine, or, as I like to think, as a way to show people that she cares about Madeleine's disappearance. You know, so that people are sympathetic, like every time. This is what they did every time. They were trying to play people's sympathy. Neela, the blood dog, on the other hand, failed to alert to Cuddle Cat. In Grimes' report, he writes, and I quote, "Keela did not alert to the toy when screened separately. It is my view that it's possible Eddie is alerting to cadaver scent contamination." The police left Mccan's villa with a box of the Mccan's clothes and various items belonging to them. These clothes and items were laid out in a neutral location. Eddie, the cadaver dog, alerted to Kate's black and white checkered trousers, Kate's white blouse, and Sean's red t-shirt featuring the image of cartoons and planes and the words "up, up and away." Keela, the blood dog, failed to alert to any of these items. This suggests that cadaver scent may have been present on items that Eddie alerted to. Now let's go to the sniffer dogs and the Mccan's rental car. While staying in Praia da Luz, the Mccans didn't originally have a car. 24 days after Maddie's disappearance, on May the 27th, they hired a silver Renault Scenic car. This point is important to emphasize because the Mccans, they only had access to the Renault Scenic hire car 24 days after Maddie disappeared. On the 6th of August, the police removed the Renault Scenic that Mccans were continuing to use and brought it to a neutral location, an underground car park opposite the PJ's headquarters in Portimao. 9 other cars were also parked in the same car park. Some of these cars belonged to suspects in Maddie's disappearance. All cars were parked between 20 or 30 feet apart from each other. Dog handler Martin Grime didn't know who the owner was of any of the cars. Eddie, the human cadaver dog, who also identifies human blood, was used first. In Martin's Grime report, he wrote, and I quote, "When passing a vehicle I now know to be hired and in the possession of the Mccan family, the dog's behavior changed substantially. This then produced an alert indication at the lower part of the driver's door where the dog was biting and barking. I recognized this behavior as the dog indicating scent emitting from the inside of the vehicle through the seal around the door." So this dog, even before going in the car, he already alerted to the inside of the car. In Martin Grimes' report, he wrote, "It is my view that it is possible Eddie is alerting to cadaver scent contaminant or human blood scent." Eddie didn't alert to any of the other 9 cars in the car park. The Mccan's Renault Scenic car was then moved to another level in the car park. The next morning of August the 7th, human blood dog Keela was allowed inside the Mccan's Renault hire car. According to Martin Grimes' report, and I quote, "The dog Keela marked an area of the lower right-hand side of the interior part of the baggage compartment of the car. This area is the boot of Mccan's hire car." Oh no, my light is gone. Ooh, sorry, it's getting darker now. Keela also marked the tidy compartment, the side of the driver's door, which was found to contain the key, the plastic electronic card type, with a key ring of the budget rental company. Second alert of Keela's was in the small pocket in the door next to where the driver sits that usually has maps. The key to the Mccan's hire car was situated in this location at the time. The Mccan's rental car keys was then hidden within a fire bucket full of sand. This fire bucket was placed in a separate part of the underground car park. Keela, the blood dog, alerted to the key beneath the sand in the bucket. The fire bucket containing Mccan's key was moved to a different level of the car park, and Eddie, the cadaver dog, also alerted to the key. So you see how they are testing the dogs. They keep moving things around in different locations, and the dogs can still alert. This is just to show that they can be very reliable. As both dogs alerted to the key, this suggests that human blood scent was present on the key. There is a lot of information from the sniffer dog's results. Eddie, the cadaver and blood scenting dog, alerted to the cupboard region in the Mccan's parents' bedroom. In Grimes' report, he writes of this location, and I quote, "The first alert in the cupboard was given with the dog's head in the air without a positive area being identified. This is the alert given by him when there is no tangible evidence to be located, for example, a physical corpse. Only the remaining scent." So there was a corpse in there. There was a corpse in there. The fact that only Eddie alerted to the Mccan's parents' cupboard region, not Keela, suggests that the scent of human cadaver was present. When alerting to this area, Eddie had his head in the air, not on some specific location like a surface, and the human cadaver scent may have come from a different location, from another part of the Mccan's parents' bedroom, or indeed from the living room, or from the cupboard. Like I suggested just a bit earlier, could the Mccans have hidden Maddie's body in the cupboard, in their room, possibly in that infamous tennis bag, which Gerry denied to ever have it? Would a tennis bag be enough to fit Maddie's body? Let's think about her age and her size. I think yes. He could very well hide her in a tennis bag. Eddie seemed excited when he entered the apartment, and because the cupboard region was the only location where only Eddie alerted to, it might have been that the cadaver odor may have emanated from the Mccan's parents' bedroom into the rest of the house. Eddie alerted to the cupboard whilst his head was in the air, suggesting cadaver scent may have been circulating in the cupboard, according to Grime. There were the alerts behind the sofa in the living room. Originally, Eddie, the cadaver and blood-scenting dog, was deployed and he alerted. Following this, Keela, the blood dog, alerted in the same location, behind the sofa. Contrasting the cupboard region alert, this sofa alert seemed to be in a very specific location. In Grime reports, he writes, and I quote, "The second alert, sofa, was one where a definitive area was evident. The CSI dog Keela was therefore deployed, who gave specific alert indications to specific areas on the tiled floor, area behind the sofa, and on the curtain in the area that was in contact with the floor behind the sofa. This would indicate to the likely presence of human blood. Scent of blood seemed to be in areas on or under the tiled floor behind the sofa. The cadaver dog Eddie alerted in the garden, and in Grime's report, he says that a cadaver, not blood smell, may be responsible for this alert." And I quote, "We can observe that a cadaver odor was detected in the garden adjacent to apartment 5A. In a neutral location, Eddie the cadaver and blood-sensing dog alerted to Kate's black and white checkered trousers, Kate's white blouse, and the t-shirt belonging to Madeleine's brother, Sean. Keela, the blood-sensing dog, failed to alert to any of these items. This information suggests that human cadaver scent may have been found on these three clothing items. Eddie the cadaver and blood sensing dog alerted to the outside of the Mccan's rental car that was hired by the Mccans 24 days after Madeleine's disappearance. As a result of this alert, Grime wrote, "It is my view that it is possible that the dog is alerting to cadaver scent, contaminant, or human blood scent." Following this alert by Eddie, Keela, who is solely a blood-sensing dog, alerted to the key to the Mccan's rental car, as well as the right side of the boot of their rental car. This information indicates that there was human blood present on the Mccan's rental car key and human blood present on the right side of the boot of their car. Overall, this means that there was human cadaver scent in the Mccan's parents' bedroom and in the garden of their apartment. Also, human blood scent behind the sofa within 5A's living room, human cadaver scent on Madeleine's toy, cuddle cat, and human cadaver scent on two of Kate's clothing items, as well as Sean's tissue. Finally, human blood scent on the keys of the car the Mccans rented 24 days after Maddie's disappearance, and the human blood scent in the boot of the rental car. The blood scent in the boot of the rental car, crucial aspect in the PJ's case against the Mccans, rested on Keela's alert to blood scent in the back of the car. A Renault Scenic hired 24 days after Maddie's disappearance. So, judging by all that was found, Kate and Gerry, I believe, moved Madeleine's body. They took it from an original hiding spot in Praia da Luz and transported it within the boot of the hire car many weeks after Maddie's disappearance. Finally, they hid it somewhere they deemed harder to find. Let's try to see why the scent of blood was detected on the right side of the car's boot and the car key. Madeleine was dead for at least 24 days before her body was placed in the boot of the car. After a person passes away, livor mortis sets in and the blood of the deceased becomes set within 6 hours. Madeleine was dead for at least 24 days before her body was placed in the boot of the car. After a person passes away, livor mortis sets in the blood of the deceased person within 6 hours. Put simply, Maddie couldn't have bled 24 days after her disappearance. Head of the PJ's investigation, Goncalo Amaral, had a solution to explain why Madeleine's body or bodily fluids may have been present in the boot of the Renault as well as on the car key. He suggested that Madeleine's body had originally been stored in a freezer before moving it. In an interview on the 24th of July 2008, he says, and I quote, "Everything indicated that the body, after having been at a certain location, was moved into another location by car 20-something days later. With the residues that were found inside the car, the little girl had to have been transported inside it." Amaral continues to explain in more detail this theory. Due to the type of fluid, we, policemen, experts, say that the cadaver was frozen or preserved in the cold, and when placed into the car boot with the heat at the time, part of the ice melted. On a curb, for example, something fell from the trunk's right side above the wheel. It may be said that this is speculation, but is the only way to explain what happened there. Head of the PJ investigations, Goncalo Amaral, had a solution to explain why Madeleine's body or bodily fluids may have been present in the boot. Goncalo Amaral also had a solution to explain why blood or bodily fluids were found in the car and on the key. He suggested that Madeleine's body had originally been stored in a freezer before being moved. This theory coincides with Gerry being spotted buying a freezer whilst on holiday, which begs the question, exactly the same situation like Kate and the cleaning products. So if their freezer stopped working, then why didn't they contact the resort's maintenance? 100% there is someone there who can fix your freezer issue. You don't need to go out and buy a new freezer for that. Who on their holiday would go to buy a freezer? Same goes with who on their holiday would go to buy cleaning products. The resort had cleaners available. Why not let them in? The resort had maintenance available. Why not let them in? Amaral specifically believed that another apartment in the Ocean Club Resort contained a freezer that was housing Madeleine's body. The theory does raise the question of how human blood scent ended up in the Mccann's hire car. Eddie and Keela both alerted to blood on the Renault's key, and Keela was the only dog that entered the Renault and alerted to blood on the boot's wall. Madeleine would have stopped bleeding 6 hours after death, and the Renault was hired 24 days after Madeleine's disappearance. There is a possible scenario that dry blood from Madeleine's body was in contact with the boot's inner wall, thus transferring the scent. There is also the possibility that dry blood on Madeleine's body emitted a smell in the Renault that was later detected by Keela. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget, my next video is going to be about the ghostly tennis bag. So yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.